Back in '67, my band and I were invited to play on local television. We had seen some success in Michigan, with radio airplay and various live appearances as the Dan Yessian Quintet. Although in this case, the Banana Bunch may have been more apropos. The show was called Swingin' Time, hosted by radio personality Robin Seymour. The show aired on CKLW television and broadcasted from Windsor, Ontario, just across the Detroit River. It was basically Detroit's version of American Bandstand or Soul Train, where artists would appear while teenagers showed off all of their latest dance moves. The city was humming with Motown sound, and so iconic artists such as Smokey Robinson, Marvin Gaye, the Marvelettes, and the Four Tops were often featured on the show, along with a young Bob Seger. We were asked to appear on a Christmas special featuring singer Brenda Lee, who was there to lip-sync her hit, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. I was totally starstruck. After my band played, I was asked by one of the show's producers if I could stand in and mime the saxophone solo for Miss Lee. Holy moly, are you kidding? Talk about being nervous? The instructions sounded simple. Walk up to the designated spot after my cue and pretend to play the solo. Sure thing, right? We rolled the first take and I patiently waited for my cue. When my turn came, I walked out into the bright lights and started to do my thing, only to hear the producer say, "Cut!" I had mistakenly overshot the mark on the floor and gotten too close to the camera. No biggie. Take two. Once again, I waited for my cue, and when it came, I emerged again into the lights and started to do the solo. Cut, cut, cut! Apparently, this time I stopped short of the mark, placing me well outside of the shot and out of sight. My guys were laughing at me from the side, and Brenda appeared upset. She was rolling her eyes in disgust. Oh, I was so embarrassed. Third time's a charm, right? During the third and final take after my cue, I kept my eyes glued to the floor and very carefully walked up to the mark, and I made it all the way through my solo, and it was a wrap. I'd finally done it and felt pretty good until I overheard from the producers that my performance was stiff as a board and that I was so asphyxiated on the ground the entire time that I couldn't see anything else. There was obviously very little planning for the show, and everything was pretty much off the cuff. There must not have been much of a budget either, as I came to find out that they would frequently reuse videotape, recording over all the episodes.
This is a high-budget show. What do you mean?
Very little exists anymore from this era of Detroit television. It's kind of a shame, considering that the featured artists would go on to receive much success and critical acclaim. We really had a treasure trove of music here during those times. And while that episode, for me at least, was one to forget, we were truly privileged to share the stage with so many prolific, timeless artists.